I had one client that said after working with them for a month or so last year, who was a mid-market, very successful, high growth company with great margins, second generation family owned, significant value and a lot more potential, look across the table and say, wow, I had no idea. And the process that we were running through was to take them through to be able to compete at a much higher level. So this is a young CEO, probably around 40 years old, who knows that there is significantly more room for this company to grow and expand and scale and really build something that is phenomenal. It's successful in its own right now. But he's of the view that there's more on the table and I want to get there. The challenge is when you step up to compete, you've got to level up on all your capabilities. And so I take companies through this process, and it's laborious and there's a lot of detail that goes into it, but I'll give you the three core tenets associated with it. One of which is, first of all, defining the trophy. So defining what that trophy is that you're hunting for. For a lot of companies that want to go play at a higher level, we define it by enterprise value. What's the value of the company today? What can be the value of the company in 3 to 5 years with a curated growth strategy? That's one way to define it. You can define it in a myriad of different ways depending on the nature of your company. The second piece of it is domain expertise. This is where we get wrapped up. And so we do a lot of profiling of the stage of the company, the mindset of the company, the strength of the team, the weaknesses of the team, what they do well, what they don't do. But domain expertise, to go up to the next level, we've got to be able to compete with organizations that typically have significantly more access to finance, better cash production. Their domain expertise in terms of the quality of the lawyers, the quality of the accountants, the quality of the tax advisors that they have is all materially higher. This is one of the ways that the big armies build themselves and grow, is that they really refine that and have access to the deepest reserves of domain expertise. And then the third dimension of this, and in my opinion, this is the most important piece of this. When you want to go compete up, when you want to go level up to the next higher level, you got to find asymmetric advantage. You got to find an edge. You got to find a way that allows you to compete in a new and in a different way. And I like the mode of the insurgency. We can take on larger competitors if we use creativity. And quite frankly, to get to the nut of the issue, if we make decisions better, more agile, more informed, more edgy, that we see something that the others can't see. If we do that better, and if we're able to attack their decision making, it is one of the most cost-effective and profound ways to change the battlefield and to level up. But you have to go into it with a significant amount of intention. The exercise for that client that I mentioned to you was basically to take a company that had been built by a family and was very successful, reached its height, has a higher ceiling if they stay with the same model, but will always be limited by geography and by scale because of tax elections and legal structures that they have embraced so far. To get to that next level, what they realized is that the large corporations, the private equity players, the way that they compete is in a whole different way. It's about how you structure the company. It's about getting net of taxes advantage. It's about the ways that you leverage your capital structure in the most effective way. The expertise is astoundingly higher. It's not for everyone to play that game, to level up to that next level. But if you have that question, understand the three things that you really want to focus on. And this is hopefully the aha, or will provoke an aha, is identify what your trophy is that you're hunting. Make sure you understand what domain expertise you have today, what you do well and what you're going to need. And then thirdly, and most importantly, where can you find the edge? Where can you find asymmetric advantage that will compete in a way that is unanticipated and quite profound to the marketplace? That's it for now. I look forward to talking to you.